What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CUFC YouTube channel. Every emotion in the book has been ticked off in that 90-odd minutes of football. It's the best sport in the world, isn't it? It is the best sport in the world. Football, absolutely unbelievable game. Football, it's Brunton Park was packed, over 12,500 there, and it's what it should be, shouldn't it? Brunton Park packed, Brunton Park rocking. You know, the crowd was fantastic today. The emotion in the spot, it was fantastic, and a performance to be proud of, if not a little bit shaky towards the end, but a performance to be proud of today. And the team that, you know, we're really starting to get behind, and you know, the greatest escape is still on. 3 wins from 3. Carlisle United 3, Port Vale 2. Unbelievable day, really enjoyable day at Brunton Park. It's probably the best crowd we've had in a while at Brunton Park, as far as I can think anyway, to be honest. But before we do get into the game, a little bit of sad news coming before the game, and a very appropriate and classy minute's applause, I thought. A very emotional minute's applause as well for former Blues midfielder Joe Thompson, who unfortunately passed away yesterday after battling cancer for the 3rd time. And I just wanted to say, you know, it's a horrible thing, cancer. You know, if you've got anybody in your family or anyone that's ever experienced it, it just hits home a little bit harder as well. But I just wanted to send, you know, best wishes to Joe's family, and I hope that he rests easy. And I'm just sending love towards Joe Thompson's family, who did sadly pass away yesterday. And it was a lovely minute's applause before the start of the game. A very emotional start to the game. But moving into the game, then, I mean, there's no really nice way to segue from such heartbreaking news. But moving on into the game, then, Carlisle United. I thought if you're judging that first half, if you're neutral and you said that's top of the league against 23rd, you would think Carlisle were top of the league, not Port Vale. Port Vale did come alive more in that second half, but that first half, I thought Carlisle United absolutely dominated Port Vale. I thought we looked really good. It was sort of a sort of relaxed first 15 minutes, just testing each other out. But Carlisle looked very confident in that first half. I was really enjoying the play on the left hand side with Harper, Dennis, Whelan. They had a really good sort of trio link-up play throughout that first half, and you know, players were looking to play with a bit of confidence for the first time in God knows how long. You know, Dennis and Whelan playing these fancy little flicks that were working out. And you know, 43 games it's took us to find an answer. And that answer is Georgie R9 Kelly. What a player, honest to God. I take back any bad word I've ever said about him. It's funny because my Chesterfield review, when I went down to Chesterfield, I slammed this team. And oh my God, 3 games later, it's a different team. It's unreal the difference a few wins and confidence can get. But I'm really liking the fact that, well, I think it's funny how we've been looking for a philosophy for 40-odd games, and then all of a sudden our philosophy is now get it into the box, direct up that pitch to the strikers, and it works. But I'm really liking how, excuse me, I'm really liking how we can cross the ball in from anywhere on the pitch. We're not just trying to get it down the byline. You know, Jack Ellis has got it in them positions where he's just. You know, he's like diagonal to the 6-yard box, to the 18-yard box, whatever. You know what I mean if you've seen the game. And we're getting that ball into Dennis, into Kelly and stuff, and we're just very direct, and it's nice to see. That was enjoyable. That was the most enjoyment I've had at Brunton Park in a very long time. Probably even going back to that playoff season, if I'm going to be honest. But for the first 15 minutes, we were just sort of testing the waters, I thought. You know, Port Vale as well, they were sort of testing us out. We were testing them out. There wasn't any real threats in that first sort of 15 minutes or so. There was some brave goalkeeping by Gabe Breeze, their striker Stockley, I think his name is. He was all over Gabe Breeze, but he stands his ground well. He punches it clear, and then wins the second one as well. There was a couple of opportunities where I thought we could have released the ball a little bit quicker in the midfield. we were just taking that extra touch, which isn't always a bad thing, don't get me wrong. But I did think there was opportunities where we could just fizz that ball in a little bit quicker, get rid of the ball, play with a bit more intensity. But Callum Whelan, one of the standouts of the day, Whelan standout, Georgie Kelly was a standout, Gabe Rees, that penalty save, brilliant, Aaron Hayden, fantastic, Terrell Thomas as well, everybody on that pitch, fantastic. But I thought Callum Whelan's really, really growing into our Carlisle shirt, and he looked good. He had an effort early on. It was just a bit direct at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper was able to make quite an easy save in the end. Dennis had an opportunity just after where he smacked it over the bar. Potentially, again, if we just played a bit faster, he possibly could have played in Kelly, could have played in Stephen Wern. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And then there was Cameron Harper finds Sean Fasai in a bit of space. I'm butchering his name every single time, I do apologise. And he gets a bit of space and he looks forward and he looks undecided to shoot, not to shoot, and then he does take the shot and he just goes over the bar. But again, it's just that undecisiveness. But I think he's been I can't speak. Honest to God, so much emotion after that game. But he's been a revelation. That's the word I'm looking for. Under Mark Hughes in the previous few weeks, he's been really good. And then there was some great play from George Kelly, and he drops it down to Stephen Wern. Stephen Wern takes the opportunity. It looks like it's bending in, but it's a good deflection from their player to keep it behind. And then George Kelly gets the ball into his feet, looks up, low shot across the box, 1-0. He's a proper striker, Georgie Kelly. Brilliant bit of play. Again, that little ball in we seen a couple of weeks ago against Newport. That little ball in, feeding him in that nice position. One look up, shot across the box, 1-0. Absolutely fantastic. And then there was a space in behind for Kadeem Harris just after that. And he won the corner, which didn't come to anything. But Harris again shown how lively he can be. I'm loving, his work ethic, both defensively and in an attacking sense as well. And then there was a bit where, just for the second goal, Harris, the ball's actually going out of play and he just keeps it alive by getting up the pitch. Georgie Kelly does a fantastic job to get on the end of it, get the ball into the box. Sean Fasai with the shot, comes off the post, rebounds to, Tristan Dennis, to Matty Dennis, who puts it in the back of left for 2-0. Not really sure what happened or whatever. I just know it come off the post into Matthew Dennis's feet, who puts it into the back of the net to make it 2-0 Carlisle United. And I'll tell you what, we looked fantastic in that first half. If we can play that like that against Accrington will not know what hit them. We were fantastic in that first half. And I was sort of hoping that in the second half, it would just be a dull affair. Nothing would happen. It would be a comfortable 2-0. But Carlisle United don't do comfortable, do they? Carlisle United never, ever do comfortable. And yeah, it was some second half, wasn't it? Not the best from Carlisle, but also, when you're 3-0 up, you don't want to be, you can't lose the game 3-0 up. You can't draw the game 3-0 up, really. But we showed character to keep into it. A few weeks ago, we would have bottled that 3-0 lead. I mean, we nearly did bottle it, don't get me wrong. We did nearly, but we come out into that second half. And it's a wild, but I can't remember if it was a corner or a free kick, the original ball, but it comes back out to Callum Whelan anyway. And it's a wild effort from Callum Whelan. It's a terrible cross. I mean, it's an assist in the end, but it's a terrible cross from Whelan. And Hayden just gets this powerful glancing header at it. The goalkeeper just looks, as if he's been took by surprise, and it's in the back of the net for 3-0. It just looked like the goalkeeper was completely took off guard. I think a lot of us were, really. Brilliant header from Hayden, the power on it to get it into the back of the net to make it 3-0. But Carlisle United 3-0 up, which is not something I've said in a very long time. Probably Peterborough right away. I want to say it was the last time we were 3-0 up, possibly. But either way, 3-0 to Carlisle, fantastic. There was a little bit of a shaky moment. They took a long forward and Gabe Rees comes out and misses it completely. But luckily Port Vale can't take advantage of it. And then all of a sudden, the basics again, a really scrappy goal to concede from a Carlisle perspective. The cross comes in, it's not dealt with. It is a little bit too easy, and their player gets on the end of it to make it 3-1, and you're just thinking, oh no, just keep it at 3-1 for as long as possible. Let's not panic or anything like that. Let's not get away from ourselves here. Let's just stay compact,
keep the game flowing. But just 9 minutes later, another scrappy ball. We weren't going back to basics. We were struggling with the what am I trying to say? We were struggling with the second ball. We weren't winning the second balls. We weren't winning the first ball, the second ball. It's that back to basics that we struggled with a lot in the past, but it was a really, really scrappy goal. I have no idea how it ended up at their players' feet, but it's bundled about the box. It's bundled about the box, and then it's ended up at their players' feet, and he's put the ball into the back of the net for a tap-in, but that really gave Port Vale confidence. I mean, I was worried with 20 minutes to go, I'm not going to lie. At 3-2, I was very concerned at that moment in time. But you could see the difference in Port Vale, that they were up for it. They had the momentum, the way that they were driving forward in the attacks. They were really getting behind it. There was one opportunity where they got a counter-attack, and all of a sudden there was like 7 Port Vale players running forward in that luminous yellow kit, and you're thinking, oh my God. But we defended it well, and to be fair, not a lot seemed to happen between the 70th minute and the 93rd minute. I thought Carlisle looked very professional to see the game out at that point. They were holding it in the corner flag. They were doing the rubbish tactics of, I'm just going to sit down and, things you hate against you, but you love it in your favour. Gabe Rees taking his time, Matthew Dennis getting a yellow card for very slowly and nonchalantly walking off the pitch. I mean, it was a yellow card, which I mentioned that because we'll come back to that in a moment. And then the ball's bouncing around in the box, and I believe it was Hayden that's went in for the tackle. From my point of view, the box was quite crowded, so it was quite hard to see. But Hayden seems to catch his man, high boot or whatever it may be, and the referee has given a penalty. And, he sort of just waited a minute. He blew the whistle, and you're thinking, is he just blowing it for a head injury? And then he points to the spot, and you're thinking, oh my God, this isn't just 3 points lost. This is our EFL status practically on the line. And I must say, I mean, the video's up on the shorts version of the channel if you want to go and see it. I haven't actually listened to it back, so you probably got me screaming on the video with excitement. But Gabriel Breeze, take a bow, my son. What a save. The lads took it. He's went to the right. Gabe Breeze has went strong palm to save it, to keep it out. Absolutely fantastic, and in that that save from Gabe Rees, Matthew Dennis he's threw a water bottle, or he's ran on the pitch or something. He's got a second yellow card. He's been sent off. Ben Barkley's got a yellow card for something as well. Just crazy, but what a save from Gabe Rees. The importance of that save in 3 games' time might be absolutely unbelievable. What a save. And you know what, I don't even care what happened after that, because Carlisle won 3-2, and that after that save to the final whistle, the ref, don't get me wrong, the ref was making the fans want to get on his back, by delaying it. The added time board didn't even go up, so I have no idea how long was added on. Everyone was just sort of, let's get, just finish the game. And, the ref was giving them cheap free kicks. George Kelly put a tackle in on there, man, it was a free kick. It was never a free kick. Josh Vella put in a good tackle again, free kick given. And the referee got the crowd up and Brunton Park was absolutely fantastic. Especially after that penalty save, absolutely fantastic, Brunton Park. But throughout the game, and you know what, a well-deserved 3 points today. Port Vale had a glimmer of hope, but unfortunately for Port Vale, they didn't show up for 70 minutes of the game. They only really came into it after that second goal. And I thought from a Carlisle perspective, a fantastic performance from Carlisle United. Absolutely fantastic performance from a Blues perspective. And we're going to take that now into the game against Accrington. What a start to the end of my half-term. A 3-2 win at Brunton Park. Got a bit of WrestleMania this weekend, and then I will see you all down in Accrington for that away. And them tickets look priceless now. Them Accrington tickets, good luck to anyone trying to get your hands on a pair of them, because I don't think anyone's going to part with them. But yeah, no, fantastic from Carlisle. Brilliant display of football from them. Take that confidence, take it into Accrington, give Accrington hell, get another 3 points. That would be fantastic. It's 4 points to safety. Tranmere are the team we're now chasing. Accrington with a win at Salford. Tranmere with a 3-0 defeat against Doncaster. So 4 points is the total. Could we just dare to dream a little bit more? Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a bit of a longer one, but what a game it has been. I hope you have a fantastic Easter weekend, whatever you may be doing. And, well, I'll see you tomorrow for the Accrington 5-minute preview, but I will see you in that away end at Accrington. Come on, you Blues. Massive, massive 3 points.